Hello everyone, today I have another tutorial for you. Today we're going to make a sunflower bag charm, which is also a pouch. This is a beginner-friendly tutorial, very easy to follow along, and if you'd like to purchase it, then please click the link in my description. So let's get started. You're going to need a 4mm hook, a pair of scissors, a darning needle, and 3 colors of yarn, which are green, yellow, and brown. So we first have to make a magic ring with the brown yarn. First, I hold my yarn like this, and then my right hand, I'll put 2 fingers through the loop. My left hand twists it, and then my 2 fingers will take the yarn and then pull it, not all the way through, but like about halfway, until you have one big ring and then another loop, right? There's a big one and a small one, and then you're going to take your crochet hook, put it through the small one, and you're going to chain 1. After chaining 1, you just twist it, and then you can begin your stitches. Now we're going to put 6 single crochets into this ring. For those who don't know how to do this, you just take your hook, put it under the ring, grab some yarn, and then you're going to take yarn to join them together, like so. After you've completed all 6, take the end and pull it in order to tighten it. Now you're going to have to join the 2 ends together. Just take your hook, put it through the first stitch, grab some yarn, pull it through that, and then you're going to pull it through the loop that is already in your hook. And now the 2 ends are joined together. It's important to remember that after every round we do, we're going to join the 2 ends together with a slip stitch, and then we're going to chain 1. Now for the next round, you're going to make 2 single crochets in 1 stitch. That means that you have to end up with 12 stitches after this round. Once you have 12, you're going to join the 2 ends together, like how we did the last time, which is a slip stitch and then a chain. For the next round, we're going to increase by 1. What that means is you're going to make a single crochet, and then for the next stitch, you're going to put 2 single crochets in that. And then you're just going to repeat the pattern the whole time. So 1 single crochet and then 2 single crochets. 1 and then 2 and then 1 and then 2 until you finish and you end up with 18 stitches overall. Then you just slip stitch and chain 1. For the next row, we're increasing 2 times, which means single crochet and then 2 single crochets. So it's 1, 1, 2. Now at this point you probably have an idea of how we make circles bigger in crochet. After joining the ends together, I'm going to increase again for the next round, and it'll be a 3 increase. So we're going to do 3 single crochets, just one in every stitch. After that, we're going to do 2 single crochets. At the end of this round, you should have 30. It's good to count your stitches after every round to make sure that you're on track. Once again, we're going to join by slip stitching and chaining 1. For the next round, we're going to increase by 4, and I'm sure you already know how this works. It's just 4 single crochets and then 2 single crochets on the next stitch. At the end of this round, you should have 36 stitches. Now we're on to our second last round, and we're going to increase by 5. So 5 single crochets and then 2 single crochets and then 5 and then 2. At the end of this round, you should have 42 stitches. Okay, now for our last round, we're just gonna do single crochets all around. So you will retain the same amount, which is 42. You just have to go around once. After this round, you can just join it normally, cut the yarn, and then weave in the ends. Now you're gonna do the exact same thing with the green yarn instead. For those who don't know how to weave their ends, you just put your yarn through your needle, and then you're just gonna pull it through any loops that you find, but make sure that you go in different directions so that the ends don't come apart and it doesn't look messy. When you're done, you can just cut the yarn. So now you should have 2 identical circles, and then we're going to move on to the petals. So look for the back side, which this is how it looks like. That's the front, this is the back. And you're taking the back of the green as well, and then you're going to put the backs together so that the fronts are on the outside. Now doing the petals is probably the most difficult part, so please pay attention, and you can slow down the video if you need to. First, we make a slip knot, and how we do that is you do the same thing as a magic ring, but you pull it all the way through, so you just have 1 loop. We're going to be crocheting into both of these circles, so take your hook and put it to the stitch on the brown circle, and then you're going to have to look for a stitch in the green as well and go through that too. Then you're going to take your yellow loop and pull it through all 4 of those loops, which is 2 stitches. Now we're going to move on to creating the petals. It has a lot of steps, so please pay attention. First, you're going to chain 2. Then we put 2 unfinished double crochets into 1 stitch. So we just yarn over, go into the next stitch, which means going through both circles. As you can see, I'm going through both. Then you're going to yarn over, pull the yarn through, and then you're going to yarn over and pull it only through 2 loops. That means it's an unfinished double crochet. Now you have 1, and then you're just going to do another one into the same stitch. Make sure you only go through 2 loops. Okay, and then you're going to end up with 3 loops on your hook. Then yarn over, pull it through so that you close it off. Then for the pointy end of the petal, you chain 3. After chaining 3, you find this little back loop that I'm pointing at, and then you just make a slip stitch through that to complete the point. Now last, we're gonna do 2 chains, and then we're gonna make a slip stitch to the next stitch, which is, through both rounds. And after you do that, that's basically how you make 1 petal. It looks like a lot, but you're gonna get so used to it really quickly, and you're just gonna do it all the way around. So I'm gonna show you again, 2 chains, and then 2 unfinished double crochets into the next stitch, going through only 2 loops at a time. Feel free to pause and, slow it down a little if you need it. And then you're gonna go through all 3 loops. Make the point, which is 3 chains, and then slip stitching through the back loop. To close it off, you're gonna do 2 chains, and then slip stitching onto the next stitch. There you have it. Now you have 2 petals, and you're just gonna keep making petals until you reach about halfway. Okay, once that's done, it should look like this. You're gonna have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 petals. Now, our job is to make sure that whatever you want to put in here can actually fit. I'm gonna take my AirPods, which already have a case, so it's a little more bulky. And as you can see, I think it fits. So now that we've tested that, we just have to continue making the petals, but making sure to only do it on the brown side so that we don't close off the opening. So as a refresher, you do 2 chains and then 2 unfinished double crochets into the next stitch, making sure that you're only putting it on the brown circle, not the green. And then going through all 3 loops to close it off. Do 3 chains for the point, slip stitch into the back, 2 more chains, and then slip stitching it onto the next. And you're just gonna do that until you reach the end. Once you're done, just cut the yarn and weave in the ends. So this is how it looks like. It's not done yet, we still have to do the chain. To do the chain, we're gonna do a slip knot first. By now you should know how to do it. And then we're gonna count 5 from the right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And instead of putting it into that stitch, we're just gonna go 1 lower, right? So not there, but just 1 lower in order for it to be more secure. So we put the hook through, take the loop, and pull it through, and then you're gonna make 50 chains. Once you're done the 50 chains, this is how it should look like. It should look a bit longer than you expected, but you're gonna need all of this. To connect it to the other side, you're gonna do 5 from the left. Then just do a slip stitch, which you already know how to do, in order to attach the chain to the body. So this is how it should look like. Then you're just gonna chain 1 and cut the yarn and then weave in the ends. Congratulations, you just created your bag charm. Okay, now I'm going to teach you how to use it, how to put stuff in it, how to attach it to a bag. So let's say this is my object. I'm just going to put it through the opening. Then you're going to take your chain and pull it through one of the petals in the center. All the petals have like big openings, so this should be pretty easy. Once that's done, you have secured your stuff into that pouch. To attach it to a bag, you take your loop, pull it through the sling of your bag, and then just pull it through the pouch. And there you have it. You can actually remove stuff and even put stuff into the pouch without taking it off of the bag. All you have to do is loosen the opening. And that's it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. I hope it was easy enough to follow, and if you have any requests for future tutorials, then please comment them down below and I'll try to do them for the future. See you guys next time.